Stampin' Up. So my name is Kelly Rose, and I am a independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And I did this card for a swap, so I thought I'd come on here real quick and show you how I did it. So let's get started. I need my, there it is. Need to protect my surface because this one's gonna be a little messy. And I have my papers here somewhere. There they are. All right, so this piece of paper is cut to, let's see, 7.5. 7.5. That's the wrong piece of paper. Because I don't think I used a 7.5. Let me go over here. Okie doke. There we go. So 8 by 3 is what I'm going to do my stamping on, 8 by 3. And then, then I'm going to use a larger panel when I layered it up on the Pear Pizzazz. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing that I want to do is emboss the word piece right in the center with white embossing powder. So it's going to be a little hard to see, but I'm going to immediately down and then you'll be able to see it. So let's get this stamped right in the center. As a matter of fact, I could use my grid paper to kind of help me line that up, center it. There we go. So thank you for joining me. I'm sorry for the bumpy start that I had there. One of these days I'll get this figured out, I promise. Or, maybe not. So thanks for joining me. It's always lovely to have your company. I believe the live chat is on. If you're logged in, you can say hello. Let me know where you're watching from and how things are going in your world today. We're having a very warm day here in southern Arizona, so I believe that it's supposed to start getting cooler, which doesn't excite me. I prefer the warm weather pretty much all year round. So you just want to see it melt and then stop. We'll turn this over and put a little heat on the back so it kind of straightens it out. Alrighty, let's get stamping. So I'm going to start with the largest image. I'm going to use these 3 images, actually those 4 images. And just stamping around the edge. I'm going to start with my darkest color. Oh, no, not stamping. I don't want to start stamping yet. I want to add my color. So a little bit of Misty Moonlight on my brush and make sure that that's cooled off. And I'm just going to do a smudge, a pile of ink smudge right here in the center with that blue. So obviously the green is very traditional, Christmas color. And blue is also quite traditional in Christmas cards, especially if you go with snow. But blue and green might be a little different. So there we go. Just with that middle smudge. And I'm going to grab a paper towel and then wipe the piece off. Get that cleaned up and back to white. There we go. Alrighty, and ready to do my stamping. So I'm going to start with my darkest color, Old Olive. And start stamping around the edges. Oh, that didn't come out so good, did it? Let me go back over that. With these photopolymer stamps, it's fairly easy to get that lined up. And you know what the problem is? The problem is I don't have my foam. There we go. And I think I'm going to stick my foam underneath my paper. So I really don't like getting ink on my foam. And one more up here. There we go. And now coming in with this image, this like fern image, but I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz for that. I'm just going to come right up next to these little guys and then do one stamp off, which is slightly different than the way I had done it earlier. But I came back with a lighter color, so I thought, maybe I could just kill two birds with one stone by doing a little stamp off. Which helps create some nice texture. Okay, so now back in with this image, and I'll do that also in Pear Pizzazz. This is a really fun stamp set. Leave room for the holly leaves. How about right there? Okay, I may come back with more of those, but right now I'm going to come in with the holly leaves. And the Old Olive. Isn't this fun? And I'm just turning my stamp around in different directions as I go around. Okay, liking that. Feeling a good balance between light and dark. So I'm going to come back in with, let's see, probably this fur. I don't want to do that with so I'm just kind of filling in where I feel like it's a little sparse. So these cards, no two alike, that's for sure. This is going to look quite a bit different. I'm doing my stamping kind of totally different. I want a different type of leaf over there. There we go. Okay. I'm happy with that. So I'll be using the Pear Pizzazz to sponge around the edges. If you're joining me live, I'd love for you to say hello. Let me know you're there with me. We can chat, talk about cards, or anything really. So I'm a little late on sending this, my swap card out. Hopefully the ladies won't be mad at me when they get it. They'll just be so happy about how beautiful it is, right? Okay, I think that does it. Maybe just get it a little darker here in the corners. And along the edges. There we go. Pretty just like that, isn't it? But of course, I can't stop there. All right, so this layer is just 1/8 of an inch larger. So 3 1/8 by, let's see, 8 1/2, 8 and 5/8, I believe. Yeah. No, 8 1/8. So I already cut the snowflakes out of that layer because, you know, conserve paper, right? And so grab my card base. This is all there is to it. Basically, that's the stamping that I'm going to do. Oh, I forgot I'm going to do the On Earth in blue, and then just getting the rest of it put together. Gluing it up and doing the inside right. Okay, so that's all going to get glued down, and let me go ahead and stamp the On Earth before I get that glue up. Here. And I want to glue those on after. And I'm going to use my liquid purpose multi-glue. This is going fast, isn't it? It's a quick little card. Which is good, since I need to make a bunch of them. Oh, I forgot something really important. Some splatters of white. So I'm just going to grab a paintbrush and use a little bit of the craft refill, the craft ink refill on a block here. And then just get it a little damp and liquidy enough so that it'll splatter. I'm just dipping it in some water. And you could use your Stampin' Right markers or your painters, your water painters as well. It's just that I had a paintbrush ready, so I thought I'd use that. Now this craft ink takes a little while to dry. So one thing you can do is get some clear embossing ink and emboss those, or just dry them with the heat tool, which I'm going to opt for the second, because that's what I did on my first. And then before I glue this down, I will make sure that I have it dry. By placing a clean paper towel over the top of it. And then if I smush, if any of them are still wet and I smush them, that's not gonna harm the look of it at all. Okay. Let me grab that paper towel, and that'll just pick up any wet ink off of there. Isn't that pretty? Love that. Glad I remembered to do that, because that definitely is something that adds to this card. And I'm just going to use glue. You could use glue dots too, but with a slimline card that is as large as this, I don't know. So the slimline card is cut to 7 by 8.5. That feels a little wet to me, so I'm just going to use this to smooth it. Let me make sure that that's on there straight. There we go. And now let's get these glued on here with a little bit of bling. And we're done. See, I want my big one. Right up here. With the little one next to it. Looks like this needs a little more glue under there. And our medium-sized one. So if you have appreciated any portion of this video, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. And all of the supplies have already been listed in the description. So if you would love to own this stamp set and you don't have your own Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be that demonstrator for you. And you can go click up the link in the description for any of these products so that you can make your own slimline Christmas card. So I would also greatly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel so you could be notified when I go live or when I upload any new card tutorials. So these are the Elegant Faceted Gems, and I'm going to use these little white sparkly ones. I'm going to put 2 up here and then another large one over here. There we go. Peace on earth. A lovely, lovely sentiment to send for Christmas. So I hope that the ladies love this swap card, and I'll be making a few extras for myself to give to friends and family. And I thank you so much for joining me. And please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.